Hey guys, what's going on? Drizzy here, back again with another South Park Phone Destroyer video and another top 10 cards video here today. Now, yesterday, of course, we did the top 10 cards that need buffs, and today it's all about nerfs. Well, these are the cards that need to be adjusted, decreased, stat-wise, ability-wise, whatever, what have you, in the game to help make them not as ridiculously strong in this meta. I think that some of these cards primarily are focused for Legendary Ladder, in my opinion, but will also probably help some of the other ladder areas like Silver and Bronze as well. As always, you guys do a phenomenal job of telling me your thoughts and feelings on these types of videos, so obviously feel free to do that if you guys want. You can tell me cards that you would prefer over mine if you disagree with what I'm saying here, but hopefully you all agree. Why would you all disagree? I'm pretty smart-ish. So thank you guys for watching anyways. Let's get right into it and start with number 10. Alright guys, first card that needs a nerf. Toolshed. Toolshed's coming in at number 10 for me. Just decrease, sorry. Not increase. We're not increasing, we're nerfing today. Decreasing base stats 25 to 30%. He's too good. Like, the base scaling of superhero cards are insane. Almost all of them are just at an insane level. Toolshed is so much better than Program Stand. We mentioned that yesterday in yesterday's video. He just needs to be brought down to reality a little bit. Like, Toolshed has a lot of value. The charge, the trap is very good for the chomper. And then, of course, just his overall stat line is just insane for a 3-cost fighter card. Just bring it back to reality a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Don't do anything to his charge. His charge is fine. Just change his base stats. 25-30%. That's a decently significant change, but I feel like at the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be as much on paper as you would think. But, I mean, you've seen so much change to Mary Jane Randy as a fighter card within this meta, or I'm sorry, within this theme. So Toolshed needs a little bit of tweaking himself. That's all he needs to do. Just take down his health and damage a little bit. That's it. And then I feel like he'll be a little bit easier to deal with. Because, I mean, almost anyone that runs superheroes, almost all of them have Toolshed in their deck. There's a reason for that. Toolshed's insane. The scaling on his base stats is just ridiculous. So bring it back down to reality a little bit, and I think it'll make him a little bit better. So there we go with number 10. Let's quickly look at number 9. All right, guys, coming at number 9. Some of you might not like this suggestion, but Gizmo Ike needs a nerf. Gizmo Ike got way too much love. The synergy that Gizmo Ike has with some other cards, especially the buff that was given to Kyle of the Drow Elves, Gizmo Ike is insane in this meta right now, is used at all forms of ladder. And I feel like this decrease in base stats, 10 to 50%, not a huge change, just a slight tweak, I think will kind of bring it a little bit more to reality. Because Gizmo Ike is insane. It's an insanely strong card at 3 energy costs as an epic. It's a really good epic assassin card right now. I just think that's it. Just decrease the base stats a little bit, and then I think Gizmo Ike will be easier to deal with. Now Gizmo Ike is dealt with easily in Legendary Ladder, especially with Satan. But so is everything. So I get it, but you know, to those of us that don't play Satans in our deck, Gizmo Ike can be a pain. Again, there are AoE ways of dealing with him. I get it. He's not an invincible force, but he has some validity right now in this meta, especially at lower tier ladder. And I feel like a decrease of the base stats will make it a little bit easier to deal with for the newer player base that could be struggling against it. So that's my thoughts at number 9. Let's quickly look at number 8 now. At number 8, we need a decrease to General Disarray's base stats, 15 to 20%. General Disarray is insanely strong. No argument? Okay, cool. So General Disarray has been thrusted into, did I really just say that? Has been placed into my main deck on my main, Legendary Ladder deck that I play on my main account over Lava. I used to have Lava in it, and I've changed to General Disarray because General Disarray gives you Lava with his WARCRY, on top of the fact of being an insanely strong assassin card. The only problem is that now he can be summoned potentially by Call Girl, so you have to be situational when using General Disarray, and you have to get kind of down the niche of how the WARCRY works, as far as it's going to focus on the unit in the furthest range from his aura of where the WARCRY circle is. So you got to kind of keep that in mind. If you get good at that component and that aspect of him, he's an insanely good card in this meta. So General Disarray needs a slight decrease to base stats. Nothing to the WARCRY. The Lava itself is fine. It's just just make it a little bit easier to kill, and then I think he'll be fine. I don't think he needs anything drastically done, a rework, anything like that. Just a little bit of base stat decrease. That's it. So there we go with my thoughts on number 8 with General Disarray. Let's look now at number 7. Okay, it's a card that's widely used in this meta at all levels of ladder, or at least should be, is Mind Control. Mind Control is an underrated spell right now, especially, and the people in Legendary Arena using sci-fi a lot more now. And this spell is I wouldn't say the main reason for that. There are a lot of reasons for it, but Mind Control is very good. Just decrease the ability 0.5 seconds per level. That's it. I don't think it needs a drastic change because it's not a cancel card. It's not anything ridiculously cancerous. Yes, it has an annoyance factor, but you can't just completely diminish it or just take it away completely. Just bring it down a little bit. So all I'm asking, make Mind Control a little bit easier to deal with. Now, yes, that would put it below. It's already below as far as the control effect, as much as, Cyborg Kenny. Cyborg Kenny's lasts longer than Mind Control does at the same level. I understand all that, but that's a card that also has other effects. This is just a straight up spell. And Cyborg Kenny, you don't get to fully control who he mind controls because it's based on whoever kills him. Versus Mind Control, you get to pick and select whatever you want, within the aura range of it. So basically at the midline. So Mind Control's still insanely strong, still good, still needed to not just completely be removed from the game or anything like that, but just needs to be just tweaked down slightly. That's my thoughts. At number 7, there we go. Let's look at number 6 now. Some of you, and I mean, all of this might have said something. I love Mysterion. He's one of my favorite cards in the whole game, mainly because he's level 5 legendary for me and he's insanely strong. So saying that, this, it's true. His overall value is insanely good. Yes, he can be canceled, he can be transformed, he can be dealt with, but just decrease his base stats 15 to 20%, a slight adjustment. He'd still be a strong card. He just won't be an insanely strong card like he is now. His value is one of the best in the whole game, and that's not even up for debate. But yes, he can be dealt with if he's transformed, things like that, and then he's just gone. If you should not use him past the 1 minute mark. If he's not on the field, he is a useless card to you because you then lose the value of him. But if you get him early game and you get him consistently coming back to New Kid, flying back in, you can get insane value for a 5 energy cost unit that you may never have to summon again. So because of that, his stats need to be brought down slightly. That's my only thoughts and feelings on that. I love Mysterion. Don't make me think that this is my, Mysterion, whatever. It's just me just being realistic here. I mean, he needs a slight nerf, and then I think he'll be easier to deal with and not as strong, maybe. So there we go. At number 6, let's look at number 5. Now this one, I think a lot of people may agree with, not necessarily what I'm suggesting, but that Master Ninja needs a tweak. So my suggestion is rework him only on the WARCRY, make it an aura effect. That's it. So the WARCRY right now affects any allied unit on the field, regardless of where they are. So I think this would make Ninju more strategic. And I think that's more or less what we're trying to go for here with it. It would still make him very strong. He's got really good base stats, really good health scaling, decent damage output for a legendary card, and his WARCRY is very good. So I think you just need to bring it down slightly by giving it an aura effect. I don't know specifically how big the aura should be, whether it should be like Friar Jimmy's current one, or maybe I would say somewhere in where Priest Maxi's aura, that kind of range, which if you've played him, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It's going to be a decent size, but it's not going to be overwhelmingly huge. Or maybe I think that at around the same amount of aura would be the current damage that Psalm in his rework. So that level of aura, I think, could be realistic to just make you play him more strategically rather than just drop him on the field and watch everything get, plus 100 damage. That's just my thoughts. Master Ninja needs a tweak to kind of bring him down. And again, this doesn't completely diminish the value. All it's doing is just kind of bringing it to where it's not as ridiculously strong as it is. That's just my thoughts. So there we go with number 5 with Master Ninja. Let's look now at number 4. At number 4, guys, Visitors needs a nerf. Just base stats 5-10%. pretty self-explanatory. Just bring it down a little bit because visitors are insanely strong. They are everywhere. Everyone plays this card that plays sci-fi. If you don't play this card and play sci-fi, you're doing it wrong. They're just so easy to buff. They're so easy to use. You can use any of the Kyles and just make them insane. You can do, obviously you can add them with, not Dwarf King, with Elven King Bradley, make them have insane range and damage, yada yada. Visitor's insane. Just bring them down slightly. That's all I need. Just a slight decrease. I think that they have been nerfed more recently. I think they got a health nerf more than damage. This was a few months ago, but I think they just need a little bit more, and then I think they'll be a little bit, more in line. That's just my thoughts. There we go. Visitors number 4. Let's go to number 3 now. Scout Ike. Scout Ike needs a nerf, guys. He's insane. He's everywhere. Everyone plays him because he's a common card, which means he's hella easy to level. It's easy to get, cards from him or copies of him. And he's stronger than the other 2 assassins in the same theme that were at one point the strongest assassins in the game, between Choirboy Butters and Hermes Kenny. You need Scout Ike in your deck. He's insane. His charge is really good. The charge is different than what it's showing here on screen. I'm sorry for the outdated image here. His charge now is, he doesn't have a charge. It's now every time he hits a unit with his basic attack, you gain 1 energy every time he hits. So if you think about that with the insane stat boost that he received, bring the stats down a little bit. Don't change his rework of his, energy per hit. Just bring down his base stats, because as a common card, he's the best common card in the game. There's no debating that now. There's no one better. I challenge you to think of a stronger common card right now than Scout Ike. I will wait. You can't think of I mean, there are other common cards that are viable, but not to the level that Scout Ike is. So he just needs to be brought down to reality a little bit, and then that's it. That's all I got. So there we go, number 3. Let's look at number 2, and then, of course, at number 1. Number 2, Sizzler Stewart. Has gotten some tweaks. He's gotten multiple nerfs over the last 6 to 8 months. Still a nuisance. I just think just bring his base stats down just slightly, 10 to 15%. It's not going to be a huge change. They've changed the way his, his targeting works. They've changed the way his WARCRY works a little bit. But his stat line, he's still too good. He can take 2 bars by himself if he has enough health. And he's fully charged on his WARCRY, or as far as the speed of the attack. So he's just insane. I think just make it to where he can't guaranteedly get 2 bars on a level 25 new kid unless he's got insane health and all that stuff. So I think that would kind of help alleviate some of the cancerous nature that is Sizzler Stewart. It's not going to completely remove him from the meta, because I don't think he's going away unless he receives a huge nerf, which I'm not saying he needs that. I'm just saying that he needs just a slight tweak to make him not be able to potentially take down 2 bars of new kid by getting there and then just jabbing him to death. Right? So that's all I really feel like Sizzler Stewart needs. Now, I'm sure that many of you will think of completely other things that Sizzler Stewart might need, and maybe there are other viable options as far as nerfs that he could receive, but he definitely needs a change to not be as cancerous in the meta, and to kind of bring sci-fi to reality. Now that you've nerfed 6th Element Randy in the same theme, which these are some of the 2 strongest fighter cards in the game between 69 Randy and Sizzler Stewart right now, it would kind of bring sci-fi a little bit more down and then a little bit more even with some of the other themes, in my opinion. So there we go at number 2. And I'm sure you all can guess what number 1 is, but maybe not what I suggest they do. So let's find out. The number 1 card needs a nerf. It's Satan. Video over. Here we go. We're done. It's Satan. Don't change his stats. His stats aren't the issue. Slightly slow down the WARCRY animation. Now, just make it to where it's easier to cancel him. That's it. That's all he needs. And then Satan is fine. Satan is what Satan is. I mean, it's a high cost card. 6 energy is a lot to commit to. Yes, it has insane value with the WARCRY, the amount of damage it does. The WARCRY damage has been nerfed over time. I think the base stats have been nerfed slightly over time. But the energy cost has not been adjusted. I'm not saying adjust the energy cost. Some would say make him 7 energy cost Drew. I think that's too much, too drastic. I think it's just a WARCRY animation. Make it a little bit for people that play on PC, that play on like BlueStacks, things like that, and to people that have quicker reflexes than myself, probably. They seem to be able to cancel him with probably little to no problem. They're like, Druzy, you're just bad at the game. Just get better at the game. Well, you're right. I'm bad at the game, but that's not the point. The point is, like, other people are bad at the game too. Probably, and maybe they would like the animation slowed slightly as well. So they're in agreement with me. That's all this Saint really needs. Every other aspect about him can be dealt with. It's just if you can't stop the animation, and I'm not saying he needs a drastic change of the slowdown, but you know, a couple tenths of a second or something, like enough to where you can, hover that, potentially hover an unholy combustion, but you don't want to completely remove him either. Make it more strategical to play it rather than just a get out of jail free card, which is basically what it is right now. That's just my thoughts and feelings on my top 10 cards that need nerfs in the game right now. And that's going to do it for this two-part series of cards that needed buffs. Was yesterday, of course, and cards that need nerfs. So what do you guys think of these? Do you guys agree, disagree with either of these videos? Of course, you'll let me know down in the comment section. This is something that I'll try to keep going. I don't know how often I'm going to do it, obviously. I'm still going to keep doing like quarterly metas and stuff like that, even though I need to do a quarterly meta at some point for this last quarter, which I will do here in the near future. So there we go. But this was, kind of a different video series. These are top 10s are usually kind of popular. People seem to like those style of videos. So I thought this was something could be cool to kind of change up, because I know people give me suggestions for card changes all the time in streams and stuff like that. So then this is me putting mine out in a video context, so you guys can know kind of where my head's at and what cards I think really need changes. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and this little two-part series. Appreciate the support on the content and on the channel as always. We're closing in on 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, so that would be a really cool mark to hit. If we can do that, maybe I'll make some cool prizes or something. I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching these videos and all the videos that I make. I appreciate all of you. And thank you. And until next time, you know who it is.